What's good, lads? I'm going to be using my phone to read the lines because I'm not really good at that stuff. Well, anyways, my name is Eric Kaler, also known as the guy who does shit at tests and quizzes. So he has to try hard on these assignments to up my grade as much as possible. Anyways, I will be doing my Kinesiology, Energy, Pathways, and Performance Assistant on the sport Quidditch. I'm just kidding. We sadly live in a fully non-fictional world, so instead, we'll be looking at a more realistic sport that almost all of us have taken part in before. Sprinting. So a pretty common asked question is if sprinting is even a sport to begin with. Like, is it really considered a sport? Well, according to Google, it apparently is, so we'll just go with it. So let's take a brief look at what sprinting is, to start off.
Now, sprinting is a short distance running sport at a very high intensity, going to the maximum speed of the body's capability in a limited period of time. It is mostly known for its events in the Olympics and is used in many other sports that incorporate running. But to put it in shorter terms, it's basically a race where you run as fast as you can to the finish line. Even though there are many events, such as the 200 meter and 400 meter relay, when it comes to sprinting, we're just going to look at the basic 100 meter dash.
So before we dive deeper, we have to look at what ATP is.
All energy in the human body is derived from the breakdown of these complex nutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and protein. The result of the breakdown of these substances is the production of various amounts of the molecule adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which is basically the energy currency of the body. And energy is just a quantitative property that must be transferred to an object in order to perform work on or to heat the object. The production of ATP involves the energy system that is used in sprinting. Now, the energy system used in sprinting is the anaerobic lactic system, which is an immediate and high phosphate system. The production of ATP involves the energy system. This system can only provide immediate energy in initial 7 to 12 seconds of high intense activity. The two major characteristics of this system is that it can provide very large amounts of energy in a short amount of time, and its rate of recovery is relatively rapid. And a fun fact is that a 100 meter runner often loses speed after only 80 meters because the high energy store of phosphate is exhausted. Now, the glycolysis system is simply the breakdown of lysis of glucose and consists of a series of chemical reactions that are controlled by enzymes, or enzymes, however you say it. The contribution of the fast glycolytic system is that the energy production increases rapidly after the initial 10 seconds of intense exercise. The system provides enough ATP to fuel 1 to 3 minutes of intense activity when adequate oxygen isn't available for aerobic metabolism. However, we only really need 10 seconds for sprinting. Cellular respiration is a set of metabolic reactions and processes that take place in the cells of organisms to convert chemical energy from oxygen molecules or adenosine into ATP and then release waste products. Cellular respiration takes place either aerobically by using oxygen or anaerobically without oxygen. When you create an intense demand on your body's muscles by sprinting, your body cannot always provide enough ATP to meet your body's energy requirements, so it falls back on anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is much less efficient than the aerobic respiration, producing only 2 ATP compared to 36 ATP. Now let's look at a famous icon of the sport sprinting. The obvious choice would be Mr. Bolt, aka the world's fastest runner to date. When it comes to the energy systems, he would be using the anaerobic lactic system in the 100 meter. However, when it comes to the 200 meter and relay, that would get boosted to the anaerobic lactic system. due to the duration being over 12 seconds and less than 3 minutes. The aerobic system would never be used because Usain just isn't a marathon runner.
Bend the knee, call you Jon Snow. Bend the knee, take a repo. Bend the knee, call you Jon Snow.
Now, how should a sprinter train? How should a sprinter eat? Well, a recent study on sprint training with cyclists showed greater performance improvements in less time when using high-intensity sprint training in replacement of usual speed workouts. To warm up, you should do easy exercises for 5 to 10 minutes. Perform the same exercise you will be using for your sprint. And when you're sprinting, perform your first sprint at about only 60% max intensity. And remember to increase this intensity after every 2 weeks. And always take a 1-day break per week. Over-exercising is a real thing, and you'll work your ass off all for nothing. Do not fall into that mistakes. And science shows that you should be completely focused on what muscles you're exercising, mentally. Just remember that burning pains are better than sharp pains. And for what you should eat some proteins such as fish, lean, chicken. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, the darker the better. For 30%, raspberries, kale, yams, bananas, broccoli, spinach, blueberries, and fats about 10% like avocados, oils, almonds.
Well, anyways, that is my kinesiology summary for sprinting.
Thank you for watching and smash that like button.
I hope you all have a good day, a good week, a good month, a good year.
A good life,
Bye bye.